Hi everyone, and welcome back to the All Stars Club podcast. Today, we have a very, very special guest, the young man. But before we introduce him, please go to our YouTube. Please subscribe. It's like, you've raised it a little bit since the last time I've mentioned it. It's like 40% of you now are not subscribed to the channel, but are still watching. Thank you for watching. Press the like button, that'd be great. And then also press that subscription button. It's right there. It says subscribe in the red box. But let's get back to it. Okay, so we have the young man, right? The guy that's been a Club All-Star probably most of his life, probably all of his life.
Yeah.
And now turning into a great young ball player, a great young man, a very respectful. It is Dax Hardcastle. Yeah, I'll put the claps and stuff after that. So just to kind of ease into it, just to kind of get the nerves out of the way, tell us what it is, what's going on in your life right now.
Right now, it's mainly just school and baseball. Just getting all the schoolwork done and just putting in the work.
Yeah.
For next summer for this high school season, just be the best player I could be.
Okay, so for people who don't know, St. Mary's of Stockton.
Yep.
Tell us how. So we're second year there, about to go into our second year of baseball. Mm-hmm. So before we go into that, we'll just hop right into it. So we talked a little bit about with your dad, you growing up in this place and all kinds of stuff. The very beginning, what is your very first memory of Club All-Star? It can be like, obviously you don't have to try to go as far back as like 3 years old, because that's obviously a hard memory to kind of conjure up. But like, what was that first memory of like, oh, like that's my dad, those are the players I kind of hang around with. Like, what was that like?
My first memory was probably going to Cooperstown when I was like 5, or when I was probably 6.
Dang.
They went to the championship. I got 2 ABs.
Nice.
I was like a 6-year-old. I think
at a 12-year-old tournament?
Yeah, I walked. I got on base. And I think I played an inning of outfield.
Okay.
Just staying in the dorms with those guys and just getting to be around them was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And another one I have was like, I think we were playing an 8U tournament, so I was probably 7.
Okay.
Probably just a little after this,
Yeah.
And I think we won that tournament at like BLD.
Nice.
And it was just kind of like the first tournament all of those guys we had played together.
Yeah.
And it just kind of kept going on until we were about 12 or 13.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's perfect. And so, obviously, Dad played baseball, got drafted, had a chance to play professionally, which is amazing. Obviously, that's the goal for you, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But what was it like kind of growing up with a dad who was able to play baseball at a high level? Because a lot of kids don't get to experience that.
Yeah, 100%. It's super nice because like he knows so much about the game, and him just passing it on to me and just being able to learn from him.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's a really big part in my like development.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
And so the other part that you got to experience, I got to experience it. Most kids do get to experience it, but the dad coach aspect. And so that you haven't, I was just talking to your dad about this actually, because he was like asking questions, making sure we were all going to be good. And I mentioned to him that one part I wanted to talk about was you have a very unique experience where a lot of kids are able to outgrow their dad's knowledge, right? Because their dads either played other sports, didn't go that high into baseball. You're at a very unique spot where no matter how good you get, your dad still was able to know more and still was able to do more.
Yeah.
So that like you always have that, it's always kind of a spectrum, you can call it. But how was that growing up? And you can relate it to other kids and like not being able to outgrow their dads and stuff. But is that more of a struggle for you at a young age? Because you're like, damn, like I think I know what's going on, and then you have to kind of look back and reflect and be like, wait, that guy actually did kind of do that for a long time. When I was 13, it was like, my dad didn't play baseball past 13, so it's like I know more than him right now. So talk about how was that kind of, it probably not a struggle, but if there was, like kind of talk about it.
I feel like it was somewhat tough. Like, we were always in the same dugout, and then if I'm not playing well, I get frustrated, then he gets frustrated.
Yep.
But yeah, it's you kind of have to know you got to listen to him because like he's gonna know.
Yeah.
He knows a lot.
Yeah.
And just using that to develop more and like advance your game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the biggest part was having to like kind of like be like, all right, like
kind of foregoing, just like accepting the fact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then, so growing up, right, we have your dad most of the time. We play in club. Mm-hmm. How was I mean, we talked a little bit about it, the 8-year-old club winning that first championship, and then talk about those 10 to about 14. Like at what age, was it like 12 years old when we were like, I gotta get after it? Or was it kind of way earlier than that? Or was it more like, let's just have fun through 14 and kind of figure this out?
Really about like 10 to 12 years old, I always played up with the older guys, and I always held my ground.
Yep.
I always played pretty well. And then 13 year, that's when I played my own. That's when I played my own age group right there, and I hit really well. I hit like 500. It was just swinging the draw fives.
Yeah.
And then so I think the first half of the 14 year, I was playing with 16 and 17 year olds with BB Core.
Yeah.
And I swung it really well, like playing against older guys, and I hit really well. And then I went in and played with the 14U team here. And this was a struggle for me, is like, I think I kind of thought I was too good for those guys since I had already played like 16U and I hit good there.
Yeah.
And like I thought I was like too big for it, and it was not good. Like, I think I hit 200.
And so, not to cut you off, but was it like because I had that, not the same experience as you, but like a similar experience where you get to play up and then the next tournament you have after that is a tournament at your own age level. Mm-hmm. And it's not the mentality fact of, or at least for me it wasn't, but I'm going to ask you that same question. Like, was it more of a mentality piece of like, no, I got this, or like a physicality piece to where it's like, I know mentally I'm confident enough that I can just beat you physically?
I think it was a little both, like mentality piece, like, I was like,
this is gonna be cake.
Exactly, and it wasn't. Which I was good physically. Like, I was probably 5'11", 6 foot, 160, 165 pounds. So I was good there, but I was just like trying to do too much, and it didn't work out trying to do too much and like just show everybody like what I can do.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And then, so growing up, getting in here, being here out of all places, which it's an amazing experience. You can talk about that if you would like, but this is cool for me because I got to see you grow up as a kid. Mm-hmm. I got to experience playing catch and like having you shag balls for BP and like all this stuff, and now we get to have a conversation about your playing career, which is like super cool and full circle for me. But and I know I've seen your work ethic throughout the entire time. Was that work ethic kind of like a thing that ingrained in you? Or was it seeing these college kids day in and day out be able to, and even the high school kids, right? You were old enough to be able to see high-level high school kids come train with the college kids and be able to see those. And then even the pro-level guys, like how was that work ethic and being able to see them put in the work every single day, whether it was good or bad, kind of help you?
Yeah, I like just seeing other people do it and seeing where they get.
Yeah.
And it's just because like, I love it, and that's what I wanted to do, and so I wanted to just be the very best at it I could be. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's where the work ethic piece came in, like just wanting to be in here every day and get better. Yeah. And just grind to be the best player I could be.
Yeah. And that's the cool thing I think about you is like it's not forced. Like you really want to do that. Yeah. Like you genuinely have a passion to be able to come in and hit, come in and take ground balls. And no matter like when or whatever, like your dad just told us you hit it like 9:45 last night after the signing. Like that's the stuff we're talking about. Like that's crazy stuff. And like and like you said, break it down just a little bit. Like is it just that you want to be the best?
Yeah, I that's a big part of it, and wanting to be the best and stuff that comes after that, like the recognition and everything, and getting selected for stuff is awesome. Yeah. But like, and that definitely drives me. Mm-hmm. And like, I mean, it's just the need to be the best. Exactly. I feel, and just try and get better every day to be able to accomplish that.
And because that's a really hard thing for kids to understand, and especially at your age, I imagine you don't have it fully grasped yet. But like, how do you, and how would you give advice for kids being able to get all this recognition? And obviously I've seen kids do it I wasn't at a high level as you are when I was your age, but seeing those kids that were at that level, you can take two roads, right? You're taking a very humble, okay, this is just a piece to the puzzle that I need to keep going. And a lot of kids go, nah, this is, I made it. I made it. How do you not go down that path?
Just knowing there's more work to be done. I think, it's just knowing there's more work to be done, and that maybe if some of these guys are still throwing harder than me or hitting the ball harder than me, like, all right, I want to go throw harder than him now, and like knowing that you're never going to be at that top step. Like, there's always going to be someone ahead of you, and you really gotta work to go beat them out for that. And
so now, kind of moving into high school, right? We get the recognition, we get a lot of this stuff. I like to ask this question to you guys a lot because it's just how you guys grew up. So it's the social media thing, right? It's just apparent. It's just a big thing that you guys are engulfed in, right? I'm engulfed in it. It's part of my job, right? It's just how the world works nowadays. It's how we get our information. How do you feel that has kind of swayed the way people kind of go about their daily lives with athletics, right? Because I feel like a lot of it is, let's post the grind every day so everybody sees what I'm doing, so I kind of look cool. You've taken a different approach where it's kind of like, I don't really care if you see me or not. Like I'm gonna do it. So how did that kind of come along with all the stuff about being social, like all your followers and all that stuff, and especially for you, right? You got a high following. You get invited to a lot of stuff. Like it's not hard to ignore, right? Not because you do a very good job of it, but it's difficult as a 14, 15-year-old kid to not want to dive into that. So like what was that thought process for you at the beginning, and like talk about the people who helped you along the way and then gave you that advice and stuff like that.
Yeah, obviously some people that helped me along the way was BT, who was here on the first episode. Like, training with him has really upped my game with all the moving stuff and just getting stronger. Coach J-Rod over at St. Mary's, a lot of strength stuff there. Obviously my dad, just being able to work with me every day, taking time out of his day to do that. Like, obviously stayed with me here after being here all day for another 30 minutes to be able to hit.
It was great.
But some people like just want to go do that so they can post it. Which I don't really see the point in 100%, just because I feel like, you got to work in silence. And working in silence is, I guess, probably the best, just because then when you get something done, then they're not, I guess.
Well, they're more surprised. I understand what you're saying, because it's like, if I'm showing off every single day, people expect you to be good. Right? And when you're not good, they go, well, what are you posting for? Right? And you're taking that approach where it's like, oh, no, I'll show you I'm good when the game times come, and I actually have to be on camera. Like stuff like that. And was that something you've always inherently just kind of done, or was there a moment in your life where you were like, I don't like the way that looks, so I'm just going to kind of take an example? Because I used to do that, and I had a turning point where one of my friends, he's in the league, and shout out Chris Troy, but he was very grounded and very kind of on the straight and narrow, right? And he told me, he's like, why do you post this stuff? He's like, why? Like, it makes no sense. Right? And it never clicked to me, because it was always like I was getting likes. People were like, oh yeah, great job for working hard, right? Like it's like that stuff feels good, and I get it. But I never got it, especially at your age, the fact that you can just work in silence and operate at a way that people don't have to see you until the time comes.
I've definitely like seen people post it. Like, I'll post something every now and then just to like, just try to keep it going.
Well, you're still in it. You're still in that day and age of social media where like it matters.
But like, I know when I was a little younger, there's these guys posting every day like, oh, I'm doing this and oh, I'm doing that. But like, legitimately overall, it doesn't matter if you're not grinding to get 1% better every day.
It doesn't matter, And then so now let's talk a little bit of summer ball. So everybody loves summer ball. I think we talked about it a little bit with your dad and just kind of the aspects about it. But what was so what would that be, 14, right? So that'd be your
last summer.
Yeah.
15. Yeah.
15. No, but I'm talking about when did you start? Like that would be.
Oh, my first like real summer was probably 14.
So right before freshman year.
Yeah.
Okay. So how was that?
It was not the best summer ever.
Okay.
I wasn't the best hitter on that team, so I didn't get to play too much on an elite level team.
Exactly. So that, just to give people some context, that is, well, you can give them context. So like you're coming from Club All-Star, not mid at all, by the way.
Yeah.
Very high level players, but then you go to Alpha, which is a travel team out of Northern California, based in kind of the Bay Area-ish. And you're on now an elite level team. So just to give them context about that, and then you can keep going. But I just wanted to give them a little bit of context.
Yeah.
So they're like, what happened?
Well, that summer we first tournament was down in LA. I think I got like I didn't get too many ABs.
Yeah.
And I mean I threw at this point I was more of a PO.
Okay.
I think I threw in that tournament I was up to 84.
Nice.
Threw pretty good. So it was one of the better velos at that tournament.
Yeah.
But I just wasn't I wasn't one of the main hitters on that
Yeah,
team. And then we went to North Carolina where that was metal. I did hit a little better there, but I was hitting balls like right to guys.
Yeah.
And that like as a young player, that is some of the like hardest things to get over is just smoking a ball right at guy.
Exactly.
I think I had 3 or 4 lineouts right at the center fielder. Just lasers.
Okay, so talk about that, right? How did you, as an athlete, especially an elite level athlete with eyes on you, especially at 14 years old, how do you not go, what the F? Like, and then just totally just lose it, right? How do you not do that?
You know, I mean, like me personally, I'll get back in the dugout, like, I'll take a deep breath, and like, if I smoke a ball right at guy, I'll be like, all right, I won that AB, like, just have to go try and do that same thing, and it will fall one of these times.
Yep.
But I definitely did swing it better that tournament. I think I hit 85 there, threw really good. But I definitely solidified myself as a better hitter. And I think that was all for that summer.
Okay.
And then, you know, going...
Yeah, that's right, because Carrie's that national team thing, right? Yep.
So after that summer, before fall, like, I was like, I've got to be a little better hitter to like be a everyday guy.
Yep.
Because I wasn't hitting every day,
Okay.
like wasn't getting every AB.
Yeah.
And I was 85, but there's these kids touching 90. I'm like, I got to throw a little harder too.
Yeah.
So like drive line helps a lot. Like I did a lot of plyo ball stuff, and hit a lot, fix some things, and then we went to Arizona.
Yep.
We won that tournament. So I went there and I pitched. I hit 87.
Nice.
So my velo was up 2 or 3 miles per hour, but I didn't throw a lot of strikes.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, so now I got to keep my velo improving, but then I have to
dial
get
it in.
better command of the zone. And I had a couple doubles there.
Nice.
So definitely hit a little better.
Yep.
And then after that was it for Alpha. We just played like a local tournament out here at Billy Hebert before the high school season.
Yep.
And then it was really just all into high school.
And then you have a very unique experience about being able to be on varsity as a freshman, right? Not a lot of people get to do that. Most high schools actually just send their high-level freshmen to JV, which is what a lot of them do, and then bring them up during playoffs. But you had a very good opportunity to be able to play right away as a freshman. Before we talk about the play, talk about, because there is especially as a freshman in high school, because that's really where you get your social status. You get kind of all of the accolades socially with friendships and groups and stuff like that, right? Making varsity as a freshman, grand scheme of things, not a huge deal, right?
Yeah.
Not the best thing in the world. But in the moment at a freshman class for a varsity guy to be like, well, that's a freshman here, right? Talk about that responsibility and that kind of, not really responsibility, but that's just the only way I can really kind of accumulate the motions. How was that handled by freshman Dax?
It wasn't that hard because most of those guys have played at clubs, so I know they took me in.
Yep.
But for the most part, like until season, I didn't know I was going to be on varsity.
Okay.
I practiced with JV every day, and then right before when we got into our like our preseason games, we played one against I want to say Davis and one against Franklin Oak Grove.
Nice.
First one, I'm hitting like 11. I think I got 3 ABs, which is pretty decent.
That's pretty sweet.
I went 3 for 3.
Nice.
I'm like, all right, maybe I can practice with varsity now.
Yeah.
Right after the game, he calls me over. He goes, all right, you're back with JV again tomorrow. I'm like, all right.
Dang it.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And then our next game was probably a couple days later. And then I go and hit a bomb.
Nice.
I hit a bomb. First AB. And then my next AB, I tried to do the same thing.
Just trying to crush it.
I tried to swing as hard as I could.
Yeah.
And all right, you're back with JV. I'm like, oh no, oh great.
This is it.
Like, I might be on JV after I just went 4 for 5 in our 2 scrimmages.
Right.
But no, one day I think he texted me. He's like, all right, you'll be practicing with us until the season comes.
Nice.
And then that's when I really knew I was going to be on varsity. And then at that point, it was like, all right, I got to try and earn a spot here, like, because I want to play.
Yeah.
And he had a meeting with me, and he said, offensively, I think you're swinging it really well. Defensively, I don't know where you're going to play.
Yeah.
And on the mound, I think you really help us.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, so I gotta stand out defensively.
Yep.
And I got to keep doing stuff offensively and on the pitcher's mound to be able to make an impact on this team.
Absolutely. So we talked about the mentality piece. Now talk about the playing side as a freshman on varsity, right? There's I felt it in playoffs, so there's a little bit more of a pressure. But was there ever a pressure of like, oh man, if I don't do good, like I'm going to be sent down instantly? Or was it kind of like, no, I have a really unique opportunity where I'm a freshman, so it's kind of just like, let's let it eat? Like,
I think there was both. Like, so our first game of the year, we played against Elk Grove at Elk Grove. Went there, didn't start. I thought I had a chance to. Yeah. Didn't start.
That's game 1 freshman year.
Game 1.
Okay.
Didn't start. In the like 6th inning, our guy gets hit by probably 90.
Oof.
Our third baseman. So I'm like, shoot, I might have to go play third base. It's freezing cold outside. And he goes, get your bat warm. And so I originally heard him say, get your back warm. So I'm like back stretching. He goes, all right, are you ready to hit? I'm like, oh shoot, yeah. So I go get my bat. I didn't end up hitting there.
Okay.
But so whatever. Next game, still looking for an opportunity. We play Jesuit.
Okay.
So that game we needed a DH for our pitcher.
Yeah.
Because he was a PO. Mm-hmm. So I got the chance to hit in that spot. First AB, I come up with we're up 3-0 in the first. I was hitting 8th. Second and third, I had a single up the middle. First AB, 2 RBIs. Then I walked and struck out twice. So I'm like, shoot, I don't know if that single was enough.
Yeah.
And then I think our third game was here at Hebert.
Okay.
Yeah, we were playing. I don't remember who we were playing. There's a lefty throwing. I know first AB I grounded out. I was like, okay, just next AB.
Yep.
There's a lot of people here, so it was nice. And I come up and I get a fastball down the middle, 2-2. Boom. I bat flip, I throw the bat. I throw it I'm hustling around first.
Yeah, but jogging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and it was probably about that close to going out.
Oh.
I know Avery, I think, was sitting right here.
Yeah.
And it hit the top of the left field wall.
Dang.
So I ended up getting a double. I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
But it was a double. I was going to say and then next AB, I get a hanging curveball and I hit a single for 2 RBIs.
Nice.
So I'm like, okay.
We're back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we go to De La Salle. This is a super funny story. All right. Preseason game against this Franklin Oak Grove. He asked me if I could play right field.
Okay.
Or he asked me if I could play left field.
He mentioned it.
Yeah, and I said I wanted to play, so I said yeah, I can play anywhere.
Yeah.
So he puts me out there for an inning, and I actually got 2 balls to me, but they both went over my head. I almost threw a guy out at second.
Nice.
Nolan. I almost threw Nolan out at second.
Shout out Nolan Stevens.
Yeah. but I didn't get a ball hit to me. So we're going to De La Salle,
Okay.
and we're just getting killed.
He just throws you out there?
Well, no, I started there.
Oh, okay.
But they put up 9 runs in the first inning.
Ouch.
Maybe before even getting an out. We're facing Cal Randall.
UCLA commit.
Yeah, probably
Tough dude.
Could have got drafted last year.
Yeah.
He's like 92, 93 with a nasty slider.
Arm angle like lower than 3/4. That's gross.
I get a ball hit over my head. I didn't have a chance to catch it. But we come in. My first AB, I was like, all right, I gotta be ready to hit a fastball here.
Yep.
First pitch, about 92 down the middle, and I just check swung it like off to the first base dugout, and then he threw another fastball right after that. So I'm like, he threw me 2 fastballs in a row. I'm a freshman. I think he'll throw me another one here. It's 1-1, and he just throws a nasty slider.
Just an absolute banger.
Started like inside and ended outside. I popped it up to the
First baseman?
No, I think it was the shortstop.
Oh, okay.
But then so I go back out to the outfield, and there's a ball. It's hit by their bullpen mound out in right field.
Yep.
But at first I don't see it. I'm like, I don't know where this ball is.
You're just standing
and I see our first baseman start going back. So I'm like, he must
I gotta
know where
run
it is.
in.
And so I sprint towards him, and I look back, and the ball lands about 90 feet behind me. I'm like, uh-oh. I'm gonna touch it. There's no sun. Like, it's a little cloudy outside.
You just did not see it.
I just didn't see it.
Yeah.
I think that was it for that inning. Go back in. Didn't hit that there.
Okay.
All right, and so I think it's the 4th inning.
Okay.
And we have 1 out. They're winning like 15-0. And I see a ball going there.
Okay. You see it?
No. I see it like coming towards me kind of.
Okay.
And I'm standing there just like this, and I'm like, I don't see it. And our center fielder runs all the way over. He's standing right here. And the ball, I didn't move the whole time. The ball lands about a foot in front of me.
Oh.
I'm like, uh-oh.
Oh, no.
I'm like, I just hope I don't get another ball this inning. And luckily I didn't. We go in. I got a hit. They brought in a new pitcher this time. He was a lefty. And I hit a double down the line.
Nice.
Which was...
it's a saving right there.
Yeah. I was like, oh, thank you.
That's a save.
So he puts another right fielder out there. And the next day, we go home. The next day, we're going to play our Clovis series. Where over the weekend we played Clovis and then Clovis West.
Yeah.
And we're at the hotel. We hang out for a minute, and we're getting on the bus. And my coach pulls me aside. He goes, "Hey, so what happened in the outfield yesterday?" I said, "No, I just wasn't really seeing the ball, coach." He goes, "Why was that?" I was like, "I don't really know." He goes, "All right, well, you want me to put you back out there again today?" I'm like, "Oh shoot!" I was like, "Well, I play first base. I think I'm a better first baseman." He goes, "All right, I'll think about it." Yeah, as we go, it was like a Friday or Saturday, so we got to take BP on the field and stuff. And he put me over there during ground balls.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd ever played first base before that.
Okay.
And so he put Michael Quedens out in right field. And I got to play first base, and it was actually that game. The sun was shining right in the right fielder's face.
So you got so lucky.
I got saved.
Oh.
I think I just caught a couple balls. I don't think I got any ground balls.
Yeah.
But I just remember on that bus ride up to Clovis, I was hitting 500 in the first couple games. I'm like, shoot, let's go. I'm doing this, and got kind of too big for myself.
Yeah.
And the Clovis series, I go 0 for 6.
Ouch.
I threw pretty good against Clovis West.
Okay.
What was it? I came in the 5th. We have a no-hitter going, and we're winning 1-0.
Dang, and they put you in the 5th?
Yeah.
Damn.
And I gave up 1 hit. There was an infield hit. He just beat it out to our shortstop.
Dang.
Guys made a couple nice plays on the outfield. There was a diving play by Braden Wilson, and so that was big.
Nice.
But we ended up winning that game 1 or 2-0.
Yeah.
They were a pretty good team too.
Yeah. They got some hitters. Munchie.
Munchie was good.
Yeah, Munchie's good.
Oh, he is good. He's
I
a
love
big
you,
boy.
Munchie. I miss you.
He was the first inning, he's their like 2 or 3 hitter, and he absolutely smokes the ball.
He rakes. Fresno State picked him up. That's a steal.
That's a steal.
That's an absolute steal.
And Gary Scanavino probably made the best play I've ever seen in center field.
Yeah,
like,
he's gross.
He ran. It's like a Superman play, and then we almost had a no-hitter.
Nice.
But yeah, so then we go. I think we go into league after that.
Okay.
And I'm kind of in a slump at this point. Against Lodi, which they had some really good arms. They had a lefty that was committed to Fullerton.
Nice.
Righty committed to he just signed yesterday. Brent Godina.
Oh, UCR?
UCR.
Yeah.
And then their last righty was pretty good.
Yeah.
I just remember I had one hit that series. Had a single. Pitching side, it was not great. Yeah, kind of blew a save.
Yeah.
Not even a save.
Wasn't a save?
We were up by more than 3 runs. I'll just say that.
Ruh-roh.
So I didn't pitch well.
Yeah.
And then we go into our next series, which is against West.
Okay.
And they're not good.
Yeah.
They're not good. They're not too good. They've probably won 1 game so far this year.
Yeah.
The best fastball we see is probably 60, 70.
Yeah.
I just remember the first 2 days, at this point I kind of knew I had a starting spot, and I think I kind of got back to that 14U mentality. I was like, oh wow, I'm too good for this, but
It's
it's
on easy mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't.
Exactly.
It's like you're just what is it? You're monotonously going through it because you know now that no matter kind of really whatever happens, your name's going to be up on that lineup.
Yeah. So I don't have the good series against them either. The last day, I think I hit a bases clearing double off a lefty throw about 65 miles per hour.
Yeah.
And then we play Granite Bay, they're really good actually.
Yeah, they had Bentley.
Yeah.
I think that's the only guy.
No, they had a couple other guys. They had a lefty that threw against us. It was supposed to be up to 92. And I come up with the bases loaded in the first inning because he wasn't throwing too many strikes.
Yeah.
And I popped up. My next AB, they bring in. We're winning by a lot at this point.
Okay.
They bring in this kid, and he's throwing 70, just right down the middle. He didn't throw a single curveball in warm-ups.
Nice.
I'm the first guy I hit against him, and he goes curveball. And I take them all. It was a hanger. It was not a good curveball.
But still, didn't know it was coming.
And at this point, I was kind of only hitting. I wasn't only seeing fastballs, but I was only hitting fastballs.
Gotcha.
And so I was like, shoot. I've had 2 hits in the last so many games, and I was having a tough time. So when coach talked to me, and I remember after I struck out, I got really upset.
Yeah.
I got really upset, and we went into our Tracy series, who aren't terrible, and I didn't know if I was gonna play.
Yeah.
So I was like, because we had another guy that been hitting really well too.
Well, I don't mean to cut you off again, but talk about how, especially as a freshman, right? Because like we talked about, there was that little bit of responsibility and all that stuff, right? Was it weighing on you more that you weren't gonna play and not realizing that you're still a freshman on varsity no matter what, right?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Well, I just know I wasn't getting the job done, and we had another guy who was.
Yeah.
And so, luckily, my coach had a lot of faith in me. He put me back out there against West, and I think I hit 500 the rest of the league.
Nice.
So in 3 more series,
Yeah.
probably 500.
And was that because of the realization of where your mental state was at and you kind of had to flip it?
Yeah, and
So talk about that flip, right? Because that's a very hard thing for, and especially at your age, 14 at that time, right? That's a hard age for you to go, hey man, you're not where you need to be. Let's flip it around.
I just remember we hit whiffles, and I saw coach put up the lineup in the dugout.
Yeah.
And I'm walking back in. I'm like, I really don't know if I'm gonna be in this lineup.
Yeah.
And I look, and I was still in the 6th hole. And I was like, okay, like I have to prove my coach right for putting me in there.
That's an awesome way to look at that.
And so I was able to do that. I know we played West. I think I hit 500 against them.
Rest of the league, yeah.
And then I think we played a team in between there. I'm just not remembering right.
Gotcha.
Then we played Lincoln, so we need 2 games to win league. 2 out of 3 from them to win league. Because I think we were tied at this point.
Okay.
Because we had obviously lost 2 to Lodi.
Yeah.
They walked us off once. And so the first game, we were facing Ray Levis, who's going to go to UC Santa Barbara. Mm-hmm. Really good pitcher. And I was just trying to set the fastball early. And I hit one up the middle.
Nice.
I went 2 for 3 with the strikeout. And then I think he hung me a slider.
Yeah.
And I was able to hit it over the third baseman side. Next game was at St. Mary's. If we win this, we win league. Beckett Bowe absolutely shoved.
Nice.
And then we had a guy on second, and I get like a changeup. Like this guy was throwing me a ton of curveballs.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I saw a fastball for a strike against this guy. And he hangs me like a changeup or something, and I hit it pretty good through the 5-6 hole.
Nice.
Get a run. And I just remember, like, I hit the hardest ball of my life that game.
Yeah.
It was right to the third base when it was an out. It was 3-0, and he threw me 5 changeups and sliders in a row.
And you go 1 fastball?
No.
Oh.
And then I think he hung me one enough, and I like one-hopped it right at that third base when he miraculously caught it.
Just so laid it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we won league.
Nice.
I didn't play the last game against Lincoln.
Okay.
And then, so we go into playoffs. First game against Laguna Creek. We start Tanner Grove, who threw so great all year.
Yeah.
Just did it again.
Yeah.
We ended up beating them like 11-1. I think I went first AB actually. Me and Michael Quedens hit 5 and 6 or 4 and 5, and so Mike hits an absolute nuke like over the houses, and I come up. I'm like, all right.
Try to do it again.
Well, I did.
Yeah.
And a couple pitches later, I hit one, and I'm like, oh, that's gone. And it's about that far foul. It's about that far foul. And so now I'm probably in a 2-strike count.
Yeah.
And I think he hung me a changeup, and I think I burned the left fielder for a double.
Nice.
And I ended up hitting a single. So we won that game pretty easily.
Yeah.
It looked like Folsom, who wasn't supposed to be very good.
Yeah.
And they threw a couple good guys. They just shut us down, and they had 1 run. Luckily, I don't remember who threw that game, but it's probably Tanner, but he threw really well.
Yeah.
They had 1 run off like a backside triple.
Something lucky that just happened, yeah.
And it's the 5th inning. I'm 0 for 2 at this point. Like my swing didn't feel right that day.
Yeah.
I just remember that. And I just come up in a big spot, and we're still down 1-0 with like first and second, or maybe just guy on second. I'm like, I just need to get the job done here. And I ended up drawing a walk.
Nice.
I took a 3-2 curveball, and we ended up putting 5 runs up in that inning.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we ended up winning that game like 5 or 6-1.
Yeah.
The bats came alive in like the 6th or the 7th.
Yeah.
And then we go into our 3-game series against Whitney. So they were the higher seed, so we had to play
There twice.
there. So our first game, we started Tanner. He threw awesome again.
Yeah.
Like, I just remember it was a super close game. I don't remember if they walked us off that game. They did walk us off that game.
Yeah.
Through like 6 really good innings. I had a hit or 2. They hit a double over the center fielder to win that game. Next game at St. Mary's, we won that game 3-2 or something. It almost came back in the last inning.
Dang.
I just remember my favorite part of the season was right there. They had bases loaded, 1 out, and I think we were only up 1, and one of their better hitters was up.
Yeah.
Hits a tailor-made ground ball right to our shortstop. grabs it, gives it to our second baseman. He throws a pick to me. I pick it. I get up, I go, let's go. And Gronk slammed the ball into the ground. And that was fun right there.
Yeah.
I think I was 2 for 3 that game. That was another good game. And then we went back to Whitney, which there was a lot of runs scored that game. I think it was 2 for 4 or 1 for 4 with a double.
Nice.
Like Sammy Kaler's now at SDSU probably was robbed of like 3 home runs. And we just didn't do a good enough job of getting guys in when they were in scoring position.
Yeah.
And when we had our other freshman start that game, and he threw well.
Yeah.
Gave a couple runs, but he competed.
That's good.
Yeah, he competed. I do remember that was the last time I pitched since I skipped over the Boris Classic where we got 3rd place. That was the last time I pitched since the Boris Classic. And I threw pretty well against Whitney. Nice. We ended up losing 9-5.
Yeah.
But and that was the end of the season. So that was the whole high school season really recapped right there.
Right?
Yeah.
For real. And then so now we're kind of getting into where we're at now. Right? I want to talk a little bit. So another great summer ball year for you, right? Another great year for the team. You guys' team did really, really well. College attention. Right. Now that's a big thing, getting invited to a lot of showcases, getting invited to a lot of stuff. You have an opportunity, right, to commit early with wherever you're at, wherever you want to go, right? What is your thought process? Because a lot of kids are like, I'm taking that, right? I'm taking it, right? But you seem to know your worth, and you seem to know what you want. How did you... And who were you able to talk to kind of get you to the mindset of where I'm going to see where my worth is at until I'm ready?
I feel like it was a lot my dad. So this really happened more before the summer because if you guys didn't know, there's a new recruiting rule.
Yep.
It actually happened at the beginning of the high school season.
Nice.
Where now I'm not able to talk to any more colleges till
I think
August 1st.
Yeah, you're right.
Of this upcoming summer. So that week was actually pretty hectic. Just talking to a bunch of people.
Yep.
I just knew I kind of wanted to wait because I just know I knew I could get so much better from where I was at that point.
Yeah.
And I know I could get so much better from where I am at this point.
Yeah.
But all my friends were committing, and so I mean I didn't really want to commit, but I was probably going to if I got the right offer.
Yeah.
And which I'm kind of glad I didn't at this point because I just tried to stay on the grind and got better. And so that was in the past, and then in this summer it was good. Played with Alpha again, and we played our first tournament in UBC.
Yep.
Irvine.
But you guys won, right?
We did win.
Yeah, you guys had a great year.
We won that one. I started the game there. I think I only threw 60 pitches. Top 90.
Yeah, but that's elite.
Yeah. I think I almost had a perfect game going through it. I think through 4 or something.
Nice.
But I swung it pretty well that tournament too. And I was able to hit a lot. We had a great coach that summer with Bodie.
Yep.
Who's now the pitching coach at Cal.
Chris Bodespa.
He was awesome.
My old pitching coach, so kind of another.
Oh, really?
Yeah, kind of another full circle moment there.
No, that was awesome having him.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah.
He won't stop walking though. If you ever notice that.
Oh no, he
doesn't stop.
He paces throughout the day.
Every day.
oh yeah. I swung it pretty well there. We ended up winning that tournament.
Yeah. I'm going to cut you off, but I want to talk about the friend commitment piece, right?
Uh-huh.
I had that later on, obviously, in my high school career because I committed the last week of senior year. But seeing all of your friends be able to commit into these good schools that you think that you can get into or can get better to, how were you able to kind of operate through that on a day-to-day basis, just to know that I'm secure with myself, I know what I can do, Was that just putting in the work every day? Was it something you had to say to yourself every day? But what got you through that ability to be like, okay, my friends can do what they can do, but I need to do what I need to do?
I think it was through like the work ethic.
Yeah.
Just because I knew I was pretty good at that point. I was okay.
Yeah.
I was probably up to 80, 87, 88. I knew I could improve on that. I know I could swing it better because I don't just want a PO.
Yeah, two-way all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely think it was knowing
The work you put in.
I work hard enough, which I could get some more opportunities down the road.
Yeah,
So I think that was the biggest piece of it.
for sure. And then, so now going into like future stuff, right? The simple question obviously is, what is the future for Dax, right? That's obviously the simple question, but I want you to dive in a little bit deeper. Like, I want you to kind of, and you don't even have to go as far as going pro, but like, what would you like to accomplish within the next like 3 to 4 years?
So like kind of the end of high school.
Yeah.
Some of the main things I want to accomplish is, I do want to make it to the PG All-American game.
Nice.
I'd love to make that next year. Obviously area codes again.
Yeah.
I want to commit to that is my dream school. I'd like to go there, or just really anywhere. I want a two-way. I just want the best coaches that are going to be able to develop, and
Yeah.
which a lot of schools do have that.
Yep.
Well, I want to throw 100.
That'd be So now I'll ask you that question. Now outside of baseball, answer that question.
Oh, outside of baseball,
Yeah.
I think it starts in the classroom
Okay.
with maintaining a 4.0 GPA.
Solid.
I feel like it's like around a 3.5 to 3.7. Just keeping that up.
Yep.
And just trying to be the best teammate to some of these guys, and try and develop other people's and make other people around me the best they can be as well.
Perfect.
And not just kind of a self-centered player.
Yeah. And what are some like, I don't know, just like in case for young kids, like what would be some attributes you would look for in like a good teammate?
They're always being positive. Like they're not getting super upset after they get out.
Yeah.
And which is super important, just having that next day be mindset in baseball.
100%.
Because like it's the hardest sport. It's the hardest sport ever.
It's the hardest thing ever to do is hit and throw a baseball.
Like I think talking on the field's a big thing. Like
For sure.
Communication.
Huge.
Like helping your pitcher if he like helping him make an adjustment or something, and I think that's a big part. And yeah, just wanting the best for the other guys around you and just trying to make them better players as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, guys, thank you very much for listening to the All Stars Club podcast. This once again has been Dax Hardcastle, the young man. Please, if you did like anything he said, please like and subscribe. And then please watch it again, right? There's a lot of good things that he gets to talk about, how he grew up, how he operates, his high school season, right? Going into college, all that types of stuff. If you feel free, please throw a like and throw a subscribe. And then follow us on Instagram at Club All Star. All lowercase, no spaces, no underscores, just Club All Star. And then that'll be it. Thank you guys again for watching. Please go like and subscribe on YouTube, and then go follow us on applepodcast.com at Club All Star and All Stars Club Podcast. Thank you guys very much for listening. See you guys next time.